Alright guys, so we're going to start out with 2.1, solving problems and equations for day 2. Now we're not going into inequalities yet, we're still doing equations. This time, instead of having a point to test, we're going to just use the two equations to solve. Okay? So we'll move forward to see how this plays out. Alright, so with this, we're going to solving systems by equations by using the substitution method. So solving a system of equations by the substitution method. Isolate one of the variables from one equation. Substitute the quantity found in step 1 into the other equation. Solve the resulting equation. Substitute the value found in step 3 back into the equation in step 1 to find the value of the remaining variable. And then check the solution in both equations and write the answer as an ordered pair. Okay? So we're going to see how that plays out here. Alright, so two equations we got is x plus y equals 16 and x minus y equals 4. So I'm going to take one of these and solve for a variable. It doesn't matter which variable you solve for first. You could solve for an x in this one or a y to start out with. Okay? So let's do this. I'm going to use this equation, right? I'm going to use the second equation. Use the second equation right here. And I'm going to solve for x. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and take plus y on both sides. So the y will cancel out here. And with the x equals 4 plus y. Alright, so now I've solved for one variable. Now I'm going to take what I've solved for here, this x value, and I'm going to substitute this in to this equation, into this value for x. So I'm going to get, in place of x, I'm going to get 4 plus y. I'll put parentheses just so you understand that's what placing x. And then I'm going to have plus y equals 16. So now we can solve for what y value we need. Well, I can't do anything with parentheses, so the parentheses are pointless in essence in this fact. There's nothing else we can do inside of them. So now let's combine like terms. So if I combine like terms, I can combine this y and this y, and that would give me y plus y would give me 2y. So we'll take 4 plus 2y equals 16. And then I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. In which case these 4s will cancel out. I'll bring down this 2y. And 16 minus 4 is going to give me 12. And then I need to divide by 2 on both sides. Therefore that can give me y over here. These 2's will cancel out. And we're left with 12 divided by 2 is 6. So now I have my y value, right? Well, I need to solve for my x now. I can take this value and put it in the place of this y. And this equation I'm going to solve for just for x. So I will take x equals 4 plus 6, which is x will equal 10. Now, to write this in the proper ordered pair for this, solving these two equations, you're simply going to write x value is 10, comma, our y value is 6. This is the answer. The ordered pair that works for both these equations is 10, 6. Alright, we'll do another one here. Alright, so to solve for these two, I don't even need to solve for an initial variable because it's already been done for me. And the second equation that's listed there, it shows x equals negative 1/3 y plus 2. I can take this value for x and substitute it into this equation. So let's do that. So I'm going to take negative 3 and then in parentheses, I'm going to put this equation. I'll do that in a different color so you know where I'm getting that from. So negative 1/3, negative 1/3, I don't like how I wrote that, let me fix that real quick. Negative 1/3 y plus 2, that's going in place of that x in this equation, this whole equation right here. That went right there in place of that x, okay? Now, we still have plus 4y equals 9. Now we just go through order of operations. So moving forward, and parentheses. We can't do anything else in parentheses, and there's no exponents anywhere. So we can do multiplication then. So we can multiply this negative 3 into these. Oh, let me write that up here so we know where I was going with this in my iPod. Okay, so it's doing the PEMDAS, in which case we know nothing else we can do in parentheses. There's no exponents, so we're doing the multiplication, okay? So negative 3 times negative 1/3 y, and we take that and multiply this in here. Negative 3 times negative 1/3, it's simply going to give us positive 3/3, which is 1, okay? So we should initially get just a y. I'm not going to write the 1 in front of it, it's understood. Just negative 3 times negative 1/3 y gives me y. And then we're going to say negative 3 times positive 2. So then if we take this negative 3 times a positive 2, that should give us, so negative 3 times positive 2 will give us negative 6. Okay? Let me do this side. I don't know if you saw right there. So I did this one times this one, and that gave us this value, and then I did, let's see, and I did this one times this one, negative 3 times positive 2, and that gave us this value, negative 6. So we had y minus 6, and then we still have plus 4y equals 9. Now we can combine like terms, right? Because we did all the multiplication, so that's gone. So we did multiplication. There's no division. So now we're working on adding and subtracting. So adding and subtracting this, we got a y minus 6 plus 4y equals 9. So y plus 4y, so there is again, remember there's a 1 understood in front of that y. So 1y plus 4y, so 1 plus 4 is 5y minus 6, just over minus 6, and that equals 9. So now, let's solve for y. Let's add 6 to both sides. So over here we'd be left with a 5y The 6's will cancel out. 9 plus 6 is 15. Then to get rid of this 5 on the y, we should need to divide by 5. So divide by 5 on both sides. 5's will cancel out over here. So you get y equals, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay, so we got y is equal to 3. Now we can take this value and plug it back in to this equation, alright? So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's see, I didn't use orange yet, I don't think. We'll use orange. So, we have x equals negative 1/3. Our y value that we're going to use is 3 plus 2. And just a second ago, we did negative 1/3 times 3. Okay. Well, actually, we did negative 1/3 times negative 3, and they gave us a positive 1. But in this case, we're left with a negative 1/3 times a positive 3. So that would give us a negative 3 over 3 plus 2 on that side. We're left with x. So then x is going to equal negative 3 over 3 is negative 1 plus 2. And therefore, then we're just going to combine the two. So that's like saying 2 minus 1, or negative 1 plus 2. Okay, so if we're taking 1 away from 2, we're left with 1. So the answer to this point, for this point, is going to be x is 1 and our y is 3. That is the overall point that works for this equation, or these equations. Alright guys, now there are a couple problems for you to work out. I'll see you next time.